staying with Checkpoint. Now, the country is increasingly witnessing rampant cases of forgery of academic certificates. This is evidenced by numerous persons investigated by EACC or charged in court with forgery of academic certificates to secure employment, and cases unearthed by task forces established by governors to probe human resources in counties. Now, recently, we have witnessed cases where EACC has secured favorable rulings in court to recover salaries and benefits earned by employees who secured employment on the basis of forged academic certificates. Our very own investigative reporter, Ode Francis, interrogates the misses and the underlying problem leading to the prevalence of fake academic certificates in Kenya today, especially in the public service. Take a look.
According to court documents seen by this investigative unit, several public officials have been convicted and jailed for offences arising from forgery of certificates. In some cases, EACC has sought and obtained court orders to recover salaries and benefits earned on the basis of fake academic qualifications. In what EACC terms as progressive jurisprudence in taming the rampant academic fraud in Kenya, courts have now permitted EACC to recover all salaries and benefits earned on the basis of fake certificates.
From the investigations undertaken so far, we have noted that many persons who are engaged in this illegal business are forging academic certificates in order to secure employment, and this is more prevalent in county government.
The commission, through its head of corporate communication, Eric Ngumbi, says that academic fraudsters working in the public service are not different from other criminals. They have been equated to criminals looting public funds by securing employment on the basis of fake qualifications. EACC says the officials draw salaries and benefits from jobs they are not qualified for in the first place, and as such, it amounts to fraudulent acquisitions of public property, which should be immediately recovered and reverted to the government.
At the moment, the Commission is conducting investigations into over 150 reports of alleged forgery of academic certificates by persons serving in the public service.
KTN's investigative unit has sampled several cases that have been finalized in court on forgery of academic certificates.
13 cases are currently pending before court, where the academic fraudsters have been charged with various offences relating to forgery of academic certificates.
On 28th June 2022, two public officers, namely Pauline Anyango Otieno and Lilian Akoth Ocheng, were separately found guilty of forging academic certificates to gain employment at the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, formerly Rural Electrification Authority.
That problem of fake degrees and fake certificates and fraud in that one is a worldwide problem, and I think it's becoming worse because of the technology. It becomes so much easier to produce something that looks exactly like the original.
Pauline forged a certificate in procurement for Mount Kenya University, MKU, while Lilian forged both a diploma and a certificate from the Kenya Institute of Management.
Person who secures employment on the basis of academic certificates that have been forged is not different from any other criminal who is looting public resources, because these are individuals who are holding positions for which they are not qualified, and they draw salaries from public coffers, salaries that could not have been given or earned if they had not secured employment using fake papers.
The two accused pleaded guilty to the offences, and on the same day, 28th June 2022, Chief Magistrate Teresa Odera sentenced Pauline Anyango Otieno and Lillian Akoth Ochieng to serve diverse jail terms and fines.
The problem is with both the students and the institution, the intentions of a person. The intention of the school when they sell you a degree, when you've not been in school, and the intention of the person who is coming out to initiate that conversation around just getting a degree that you have not studied for. So the problem is with the student or the individual who is going to buy.
So hiyo issue ya kubai degree na nikatia sana. So kama mimi nimesoma na nilisoma na yenyewe nilikaza na nimegraduate, certificate zangu ni valid, nimepiga second hapa. So hiyo kitu inanikasirishanga sana. Inanikatia juu mimi mwenyewe nafaa kuwa na support msee mwingine, na support my mom. Nafaa kuwa na support lakini siwezi. Saa zingine narauka na muangalia hivi kwa macho, naona ako na disappointment. Saa zingine anafeel ni kama ile doa aliyeka kwangu haijapay.
Wednesday 19th April 2023, Abdi Hakim Dagane Hassan, a former employee of Garissa University, was arrested by EACC and charged with forging a degree certificate, which saw him grow in a career to a senior computer technologist working at Garissa University. He was charged with 7 counts of criminal offences arising from forgery of academic certificates before Garissa Chief Magistrate Hezron Nyabari, who slated the matter for hearing on 30th May 2023. In the third EACC quarterly report published in the Kenya Gazette on the 17th of February 2023, KTN's investigative unit has identified details of cases of forgery of academic certificates whose investigations have been completed and files forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP. In the landmark judgment delivered by the Mombasa Court of Appeal on 4th November 2022, EACC and Kenya Ports Authority won a court case filed by Abdi Mohamed Daib, a former employee of the Kenya Ports Authority who was dismissed from employment after it was discovered that all the academic certificates he used to secure employment were forgeries. Abdi Mohamed Daib had worked at KPA for 20 years on the basis of fake academic certificates, namely a degree certificate purportedly issued by Kenya Methodist University, diploma certificate from the Kenya Institute of Criminal Justice, Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE, Kenya Certificate of Education KCE, and Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE. According to court documents, both the Employment and Labor Relations Court and Court of Appeal concurred with KPA that all the certificates were forgery. Mr. Abdi Mohamed Daib was employed by KPA as an internal detective in June 1995. He remained in employment until September 2015. By the letter dated 29th September 2015, KPA terminated his employment on grounds of having presented forged academic and professional certificates for the purpose of securing employment and subsequent promotions.
Universities and even professional bodies are victims. They are victims in the sense that I don't think any university would like the idea of someone presenting a certificate saying they earned a qualification from that institution when they did not do it. And I think the professional bodies, the same thing. They would like to have people with genuine qualifications. And I think that's one of the reasons why universities and professional bodies work with the Commission for University Education to try and make sure that programs are accredited, institutions that are accredited, and also that we look at their internal quality assurance system.
EACC informed KTN's investigative unit that the court's decision in the KPA matter sets a good precedent in the efforts to tame academic fraud in Kenya. In the EACC quarterly report, also submitted to the National Assembly, the Director of Social Service at the County Government of Garissa is alleged to have been employed with a forged degree certificate purported to be issued from University of Nairobi.
An employer who does not do background checks to authenticate certificates that are submitted by a candidate is either conniving at this forgery or is part of the problem.
According to the report, investigations reveal that a certificate in county administration and a diploma in public administration from County Concerned Training Institute are from an institution that is neither registered nor lawfully existent in Kenya. Where should the blame for this menace lie? Charles Kanjama blames the academic certification syndrome.
There's a cost to all aspects of verification. And in business and in interactions, even in offices, there's a level of trust that is involved. In the old days, you did not even need to produce copies of your certificates. People would trust what you put in your CV. When they found that there was a lot of dishonesty, they started asking for copies of the certificates. When they found that was not resolving the issue, they started saying, when you come for the interview, come with the original copies. Sometimes they say, we want to see certified copies from a lawyer or somebody. But even the lawyer just looks at the original and sees whether the copy corresponds to the original. So even those additional methods of verification are failing.
We also identified same allegations of forgery of degree certificate in Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Electronic Engineering from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology JKUAT against a sitting member of parliament, Didmas Baraza. According to the report, EACC established that the elected member of parliament used the forged degree certificate to obtain registration as a graduate engineer by Engineers Registration Board. On 24th November 2022, the DPP returned the file with the recommendations for further investigations.
As we stand now, many people trust the higher education system in Kenya. But part of that trust has come as a result of the fact that graduates coming from this country, when they go outside to other countries and they study with other students, they perform very well.
So kuna wenye ilibidi lazima wa sacrifice life yao kimasomo ndio mimi niweze kusukumwa. So ilikuwa disappointing sana nikianza kutafuta job na job haipatikani. Mother ni single parent, amechukua malon kwa machama ajaribu kunisomesha. Asset zake kadhaa zenye alikuwa nazo bado ameuza ajaribu kunisomesha, in the hopes that after graduation vitu zita change, nitapata job nijaribu kusupport. So haikuwa hivyo rahisi.
Peter Kiunjuri, 30 years old, is a degree holder, upper class, second class honors, upper division.
Mi ile kitu nafanyanga nikirauka tu hivi Ngware na uzanga waba maji kwa jerrycans.
His mother Esther Murugi is a bitter mother seeing her son suffering.
Sasa sisi yote tunaangaliana tu, tukiwa yeye hana, mimi sina, nilikopa pesa ndio hizi sijalipa, yeye hana kitu. Hata saa ingine tunakaanga kwa nyumba jioni, hatuogeresani, tunakaa na husuni. Juzu hakuna mtu anasaidia mwingine.
Hii karatasi tu imewekwa kwa folder ingine smart. Hii ni paper miaka 7. Hata unaweza unacheki. Hii ni second class honor, upper division, Bachelor of Science and in Environmental Science. Miaka 7. Imekuwa tu nikitamak. Hakuna kitu imejipa yet.
In another story, a forged KCSE certificate was used to obtain a disability certificate and a fraudulent tax exemptions allegations against the employee of KenGen. Investigations revealed that the KenGen employee had no history of disability or incident of accident. Upon authentication by Kenya Examination Council, NEC, it was found out that the KCSE certificate and result slip for this employee were forged. I sought to find out what fake academic certificate mean for universities in terms of integrity of their academic awards. In a judgment delivered by Justice Esther Maina of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Division of the High Court on 16th February 2023, the court established that Evans Nyaoga Rambeka, who had been employed by Kisii County Government as a ward administrator in Masige West Ward, fraudulently secured employment using fake academic certificates and received a salary and allowances amounting to 3.1 million. In the course of his employment between 21st January 2014 and the day of judgment 38 months later. The court ordered him to return all the money to the government as it was earned through academic fraud. On the 8th day of 11th month of 2022, Senior Principal Magistrate Honorable Peter Oko jailed Robert Kibe Githongo, the immediate former member of County Assembly Kiamangi Ward, Gatundu South, Kiambu County, for a total of 4 years or pay a fine of 500,000 shillings for making a false document, the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, serial number 625123, purporting to be a genuine certificate issued by the Kenya National Examination Council. On the 29th day of December 2014, at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, he uttered the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, false document serial number 625123, to the university purporting to be a genuine certificate issued by NEC. There are numerous reported cases of professionals of diverse backgrounds holding fake academic certificates. This means that they are unqualified to practice in their purported areas of specialization, yet some of them undertake sensitive assignments such as undertaking medical procedures, approval of projects such as buildings. After a TSC teacher named Isaiah Okombo Otieno was recently arrested at Nyakeyo Market in Kisii County after he was found to have fraudulently secured a P1 teacher job at the Teachers Service Commission TSC using academic certificates of KCPE, KCSE and primary teachers training belonging to another person, namely Daudi Ochoi Magero, alias Duncan Ochoi Magero. Isaiah Okombo Otieno has since been dismissed from employment. For the case of Assistant Inspector employed at the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate KEPHIS, investigations have revealed that his KCSE certificate together with that of training from Kilifi Institute of Agriculture and 6 terminal reports for the year 2003 to 2005 were forged. Further investigations reveal that the diploma certificate from Baraka Agricultural College in Sustainable Agriculture and Rural Development and examination results slip from the institution were also forged. A report that was forwarded to the DPP's office on 3rd October 2022 and the DPP on 1st December would return the file recommending further investigations.
No person will be allowed to earn from the public office using forged academic certificates. Academic fraudsters in the country should know that EACC will follow them and recover all the salaries and the benefits that may have been acquired from the public on the basis of forged academic certificates.
Malith Monica is a student leader of the University of Nairobi and a refugee. She and other students genuinely studying are a worried lot. They say such fake certificates would affect reputation of Kenyan universities, currently rated highly in Africa and the world.
You want the best for your child and you want your child to get the best chance. So obviously, if someone is getting a job by faking a certificate, that could have been gotten by my child who has a genuine certificate, of course, that's not acceptable. It's painful. But as I say, that's what corruption in this country sometimes does.
Universities have been urged through a circular issued by EACC to devise appropriate mechanisms, including creation of relevant portals where employees can verify authenticity of academic certificates.
Now, they say education is the key to success, but for those who have faked certificates in Kenya, it becomes easy for them to get a job than those who have gone for the real education in Kenya. It's time the government to make sure that it closes and fills all the gaps when it comes to faking degrees in Kenya. Ode Francis, KTN News, Nairobi.